Is it soup yet?
It's time for Thursday Night Soup. Join Doc, co-host Jeff Kendall, and many other famous celebrities as we discuss music, movies, and just plain cause havoc across the internet.
Yeah,
And
we're
now,
gonna harass you.
Get ready. Let's welcome Doc Dockist.
Are you ready?
I want my Thursday night
ready?
soup
Now.
now!
Oh, yes. We are live. Yes. Hey. It's not blurry.
No.
I guess this is a better connection, right?
Crystal
No.
clear.
Yeah, usually when I
maybe
start
we,
to all blurry and everything, I was wondering how it might turn out.
Now we can see what you really look like.
Yeah, and there's a little thing over here going like, your signal strength's kind of low.
Yeah.
Hey, this might be all right. Hey, I like this. Ooh. Better show.
And
Yes.
Doc's not on dial-up anymore, guys.
Yeah.
Got rid of the modem. Got a wire
Yeah,
running.
you can barely see. Yeah. Show him the cord. Hey, see, Doc has a cord.
I've got a cord
Yeah.
to a box behind the sofa,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden, ooh, look at him. Wait till I get the bill. Okay. That's read the next thing, right? Yeah, we got Jeff Kendall here.
I'm here.
Yeah, he's here. And Tim Allen is here too. He's here.
Yep.
And somebody called Gur.
Kurt,
Gur. All righty.
you can call me Alan Timms.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay, and that's our show for tonight. No, we gotta do more than this.
We have some
Oh.
more to do.
Yeah, we gotta say hello to some people. Like
Yes.
James
Hey,
Brown.
James.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
Hey, and Matchstick Man.
and Matchstick Man. What's the good?
Thursday.
Whoa.
It's all the good word is always retirement.
Coca-Cola Spice. My last can too. Oh.
What's it spiced with?
Nothing.
Chili peppers.
It's totally wrong to put spiced on this, you know.
Because it's just regular Coke.
Yeah, well, when this thing first came out, it was like, oh, what's that gonna be? I hate spicy things. And it turns out it's raspberry. Well, why didn't they just call it Coca-Cola Raspberry?
Raspberry.
Spice.
Yeah.
It's spiced with Mel B.
Oh, what? I know. As I was telling before, I roll it up. Well, it's only been one night so far.
Mel B was the spice girl there, Doc. Just saying.
Yeah. So I roll it up and I shove it under the sofa right in the corner there. I know where the end is. Just take it.
Pull it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you could switch your computer, or your computer would be this way and your couch would be that way.
I'm not moving furniture. Get out of here.
Okay, he's not going to do that, guys.
That's what I told the guys. Oh, you'll have to move all your furniture around. No, I'm not.
He's afraid he'll have to vacuum under his sofa.
Mhm.
What, you don't want to disturb the little dust bunnies.
You might find the dozen CDs that are probably under there that
Oh,
you
yeah,
lost.
the tossing.
Yeah, ones he tossed over his shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Sure, I never thought of
They could be
Treasure Trove.
They could be brand new all over
I
again.
remember that one, yes.
Yeah, I never thought of that. There could be. It's like when you pick up your cushions and you find money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There
Mhm.
could be CDs under there for all.
not fine CDs, yeah.
Yeah, it's like we have a guy fix our dryer, and he found $10 worth of change.
Woo!
What do you do with it?
My son gave it to me. So
Oh, I
got-
figured.
I've got a shiny new $10 bill in my wallet. So
What? $10 bill? There was a $10 bill in your dryer?
no, there was $10 in change.
Oh, you mean like you took it to one of those coin star things?
I took it to my bank, and the bank said they didn't charge me a fee because I I have an account there. See, and I can put it in the thing. Oh, it's $10. Here you go. Yeah. So
He's probably like some Captain Trench under there that I haven't
might
seen
be
for 30
Captain
years.
Crunch and probably a radish or a something, pickle or whatever.
But yeah, far as I can see, I think my picture is much better tonight.
Yeah, you're clear tonight.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. It's the best you've been.
Yeah, because I've seen it where I look like I'm all fuzzy and
you're up to 240p. Congratulations.
Yeah, good.
Now, I think the most you can do on StreamYard is 720 anyway, but still, it's nice and clean. Let's see how clean it is.
Rather than looking like a mosaic.
Ooh, it does. Looks good.
Wow.
So I'm going to try showing a record.
Yeah, we can see what's stuck between your teeth now.
Ooh. You can count my pores and everything. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's see what this looks like.
Oh,
All
okay.
of
Yes.
the loving spoonful.
There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You might even be able to read it now.
It's
I
yeah.
recognize
You
that.
almost read
I
it.
think
Yeah.
that might be the first Lovin' Spoonful CD to ever come out.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I've got the Rhino collection myself. That's an
That's
earlier
old.
one.
Probably is the
Yeah.
first one. Yeah.
Mhm.
So now I can do real shows here.
Yes, you can read the liner notes. Yes.
I
So-
bet. Eh? Wahoo. I'll bet you can even see the nutritional value on a Coke can.
Yeah. See how many calories are. 160.
160.
See, that's for one can, right? 160 calories.
No, that's per gulp.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Hello, Kimba.
Yeah.
Hey, Kim.
I don't think they make this anymore though. It must have been one of those items that like not very long for whatever they call that. So like this is my last can of Coca-Cola Spice.
Right.
Oh well,
Sounds good.
it had to get used sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me go back to being little again.
Okay.
There's definitely some yop caps under there. Ooh.
Yeah, it might be an empty yop container. You never.
Boo Boo always gets sunk into the coach. Always. Like the cushions on there, I never had problems with the cushions until Boo Boo came around.
Yeah.
Now they're all. He's ruined my cushions.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Kimbas. Hello. Missed you at Ski Lodge yesterday. Everybody.
Yes. Or the week ago, because we didn't have it Tuesday.
Because we didn't have one.
Yeah.
I think he's still.
Yeah, he might be.
Wow, instead of finding money, I find Boo Boo.
Ryan Cooper and probably
What are
some
you doing in there?
meatball from eating some spaghetti or something.
Whatever.
Oh, thank you, Rockin' McRocker.
Rock McRocker.
Thank you.
I get to be a man today. Yes,
Yeah.
because I'm clearer than ever.
Looks good. Mhm.
Yeah. So like, I've seen it sometimes where I just look like, what a mess. Why am I so crappy looking? But no, this is the start of a new era of
Mhm.
clearness.
I'll
Yeah.
have to go back and redo all those shows.
Yes. Did any of us place an order for the new Beatles mono box set reissue?
Not me.
Well, you've got two CD guys on the top row, so no. I've got it, so no. Paul? Paul's got it, so no.
That's over there.
That'd be a no for all of us.
Right down there. Yeah.
He doesn't need the reissue. He's
I
got
already
it.
got mine. I pre-ordered.
Ah.
I think it's bad news. I'm not happy about it
Why?
because the value of mine just dropped by like a lot.
Ooh.
Oh well.
So you put out a reissue and your original goes.
I'm hoping
down?
they're not doing too many. It doesn't sound like they're doing too many. They didn't even
Limited
announce it
edition.
already.
There must be a
So-
demand for it though. Like you can't even buy them singly anymore.
No, and you're not going to be able to either. That's the other thing I heard.
I've got a with the
nothing.
Beatles. I got a mono with the Beatles sealed. My brother gave it to me. It's an extra I've got, so I'm hanging on to that one. It's probably worth $50 by now.
And it's not cheap either. It's $550.
Oh, really? That's twice what it was when it first came out.
For sure, I'm not buying it.
Yeah,
it's not a new camera; it's a new internet connection.
And it's only available on the website, on the Beatles website. That's it. Amazon's not getting it. Nobody else is getting it. So I don't think there's a whole lot. I don't think maybe a couple of thousand probably is all they're doing.
Well, I gotta say, if you're a Beatle fan, you don't have it. It is worth getting.
Oh no, you should get it. It's. I haven't played mine in a couple of years just because it got to be so valuable. I didn't want anything to happen to it. But I'll probably start playing it again.
I've got the CD box too, so if I feel I'll play that probably before I'll play the record.
Yeah, I've got a fake CD box,
and they sound pretty close actually.
Are they going to sound like the U.S. Masters, or the British Masters?
The British Masters?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The master tapes. Like the
the mono box was done analog from the master tapes. The mono, you can't get better sounding Beatles vinyl than that mono box. You just can't.
Yeah, it's right from it's right from the tapes.
Yeah, it's from the masters. They used the original notes to master it. They did the best they could possibly do, and they did a fantastic job.
Yeah. And Jeff Emmerich is still around
for the most part, so they sound great.
So what?
Jeff Emmerich and Gordon Smith, I think, were still around when they did that mono box. So I mean, they would have
helped them
insight into it as well
before he died.
It was done before Jeff Emmerich died. So
they're not going to alter the sound any, are they?
They're not. I'm sure they're using the same plates and everything that they used 10 years ago. I'm sure that everything's they're not remastering or anything. They're just pressing more.
Okay, so I want them to sound just like the originals. I don't want them to use any AI or anything.
No. But speaking of that, there's Beatle AI news too. I'll talk about it a little later when the show's going a little more.
That's fine.
But there's Beatle AI news that's come out. It's not new. It's not new. It's new news, but it's not something that they've done recently. And it's like, oh my God. And in the back of my mind, I knew. And I'll talk about it a little later.
I have AI news too. Are you ready? Look at this. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Oh, AI is everywhere.
I hope that's not Jerome the giraffe.
Oh, okay. That's a shark eating a giraffe.
Shark eating a giraffe.
That wasn't a land shark. He snuck up in Africa and swallowed a giraffe.
I hope it's not Jerome from the Friendly Giant. No. That would be upsetting.
I hope it's not Jeffrey.
All kinds of this.
Yeah.
Because Toys R Us is in enough trouble.
I don't see anything on the Beatles website about this thing. So, are they advertising?
Supposedly it's there.
No, I'm right on the homepage. There's not a word about it.
Maybe they've sold out already.
Why?
They've sold them all already.
Yeah, sold out. They're not available anymore. But
they changed their mind.
Yeah.
Nope, we're not going to release it. Sorry. Hang on to your sets, guys.
It would be funny. It would be funny if it's a prank, if it's a joke, because a lot of people have fallen for it. If it is,
honestly, I'm at thebeatles.com and
actually, you might not see it yet because I heard it first from Mazzy, and Mazzy, you have to be. Are you signed up to the Beatles? If you're signed up to their site, then you can pre-order it. If you're not, I think pre-orders start Friday or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So you have
So
to
it wouldn't be there yet.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be there yet, according to Mazzy. That's what I'm going to talk about. Yes, that's what I'm going to talk about. Absolutely.
Talk about this right here.
And I always knew there was something off about that album, and I've never liked it. And now I know what it is.
What is it?
Well, you want to talk about it now?
Yeah. Well, it's been a while.
Let's wait another hour.
Until next hour.
Later.
I'll talk about it now. This right here, I even brought my copy.
Mhm.
This right
I
here,
got that.
done in 2001 or whatever it was done.
Yeah.
2005.
They used pitch correcting software on the vocals for this album.
Oh no!
I always knew there was something off about it, and there is. You do a vocal analysis of this album, and you will find, like on Long Winding Road, McCartney is on the line pretty much 100% of the time, and that's not what human voices do. And you compare it to the Let It Be version, which I know is a different take, but it's not even close. It's nothing like, and I always knew something that sounded dead to me about this album. I never liked it because I'm like, it lacks energy. It lacks human vocals.
It's too polished. I find it's too polished.
And nobody's analyzed it, but they might have even done it on the instruments too. I don't know, but they use pitch correcting software on this.
It's just way too polished for a stripped down album. That's what I did.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's why I think maybe they even used it on the instrumentation.
Who is this?
Hello.
Could be.
It's Mr. Platters.
Hello
and
there.
Good evening.
So
that
is a piece of garbage to me now.
It's the Paul Show. Yay!
Yay.
No, my name is Gurr.
His
Oh,
name
some of us know better.
So if you want to listen to these tracks kind of stripped, listen to the Get Back album.
Yeah, the Glenn
Listen
John.
to them on Anthology, and listen to them on Anything But This, because this is, I knew it. I knew there was something wrong about it, and now it's been.
Now we'll have to rebuy it, of course. Hi, Paul.
No, why would you buy it?
Because
it's when they remastered it and put it out again, they didn't change it at all. It's the same as it was in 2002 or whenever they did it. It's corrected, and it's awful.
2005, I think it came out.
I never got it.
Okay.
I don't know. I just never got it.
I have it on CD.
Whenever
myself.
it came out, I just thought it sounded it sounded lifeless. It sounded like they're sitting back like this playing, and I'm like, well, that's why, because they took the human element out of it.
Well, it's just that's part of it, but it's just too polished for a stripped down album. It's just too polished. It didn't.
Yeah. Well, that's it. They ran it through pitch correcting software, and that's what you get. You get a turd, to be quite frank.
Yeah, be right back.
Well, that's the other Beatle news. And if you want to see the videos, Wings of Pegasus has done a couple of videos on this.
Okay.
One is entitled something like "Watch this before it's taken down," because he figures the forces that be will take it down.
Is that Let It Be Naked still in print?
No, I don't think so.
I don't see it any place.
I don't think it was a big seller.
But
I bought it when it first came out. This CD has a second CD with little snippets from the movie.
Fly on the wall thing.
Yeah.
well, not necessarily from the movie, but from the
the tapes. Yeah. The Get Back tapes that we have now.
Yeah, and the LP has a 45 with the same.
Okay, with the same kind of stuff on it. Okay.
Which is the only reason to own it at this point, in my opinion.
Did you know the original Mary Ann was called Bunny?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
And
that
if
really
you,
wasn't Mary Ann. That was a secretary.
if you look real carefully, she's on the first Gilligan's Island episode.
Mhm. Well, you're not supposed to notice.
You're not supposed to know that, but if you look real carefully, she's there. They did reshoot the shipwreck part.
Yeah.
So it's not Ginger Mary Ann, it's Bunny and the other one.
Yeah.
Jeff's been watching too much Rick 9G.
No, I've just been watching too much Gilligan. I have to drug out my Gilligan DVDs because they took it off of Tubi. So
Oh.
Things you never noticed.
Hmm.
oh, she's not there.
What was that? My Gilligan DVD went crappy today. The last 3 episodes are not available anymore.
Uh-oh.
I know. I was settled in to watch some Gilligan and hit the thing to watch the next episode, and it just
Sorry, this is not available.
not available.
You
So then,
tried,
okay, give me the next episode. No, next episode. No,
have you tried clean
my DVD has crashed or something.
your
Yeah,
disc?
did you clean it?
Yes, I did.
Hmm.
Yes, I did. I got my
Gilligan
SOS pad and I
25.
Well, no. You know how to clean a DVD.
Of course. Look. We have one of those finger bombs there. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah,
You're
blah,
muted,
blah.
Paul.
Blah, blah, blah.
You're muted.
Okay.
No, 2003 this came out.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I remember buying it.
And then it
Somebody
got
first-
remastered and re-released a few years later, but it's
I don't
still
know.
the same.
I
Yeah,
think
it's-
Why-
It doesn't matter which one you get. It's not like they pitch corrected it on the reissue. They didn't.
this is still the old one. I bought
They
the
did
CD,
it on the original one, so it doesn't matter.
but I didn't get this till years later. But it's still
Okay.
2003, so this was the
I bought it on CD when it came out, but I didn't get it
Yeah.
on vinyl. So,
me too.
a bunch of years
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine
Yeah.
there.
Well, that one you can throw over your couch, Doc, because I'm fed up. I never liked that CD, and now I really
Yeah,
don't.
throw it. Throw it.
Oh no.
Horrible. Well, the good thing about it is they could play it on modern radio right now. It'd fit right in with Dua Lipa and all of that crap because it's the same process to make that album, so it fits right in.
So really, this is
Horrible.
no good.
I wouldn't say that. It's just
Not
it's
unless
just
you like, not unless you like robots singing and playing. If you like robots singing and playing, then
Oh,
Kyle.
when
Stick
you
it back.
compare that to like the only thing we had before that was the bootleg of the Glyn Johns mix, and it was rough. Like that was a lot better
Yeah.
than the Glyn Johns one.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah. But I always
But now
yeah,
that
but
they've redone the Glyn Johns one on Let It Be, it's probably the standard now, I would say.
Yeah. But the thing is, the stuff that was on Anthology 3 compared to the stuff that was on that, the Anthology 3 stuff was so much better, and I always tried to figure out why. Now I know why. Because The Long and Winding Road is practically the same on both. And yet The Long and Winding Road is so much better on Anthology 3, and it's because it's not played with.
well, I'm sticking with what I've got.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't need this mono set or a new naked or anything. Like, geez, quit shoving
It's
stuff
not
down our
new.
throats.
It's new news. It's not new.
I'm satisfied. It even has that fly on the wall. Oh, now it's on the floor. Now it's a fly on the floor.
The fly on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the fly on the walls as well in that set for first cut.
I think that's enough.
Sounds good. Well, we've been
I
here
don't need this mono stuff.
25 minutes. You want to do our new stuff we got?
Oh, have you got some new stuff?
I do.
Oh, well, let's have a look at the new stuff.
My new stuff. Well, this is my new used stuff because I like to buy used stuff. but I bought most of the Who albums, and I'm buying the catalog of this other artist that I kind of like too. I got this one in.
Oh, it's only rock and roll, but I like it.
Only rock and roll, but I like it. I have this one, so I'm going to get, let's see, Exile on Main Street, Black and Blue, and then Undercover, and the one after that. And I'll have everything from Let It Be, or Let It Bleed to Steel Wheels.
Ooh,
Nice.
you're getting there.
Catalog stuff. And what do you want?
I forgot. What was that?
No.
Was that $1?
Oh, it was about, that one was like $4.50. That was, I find it.
Ooh, you're spending extra money these
I'd
days.
buy that for $1.
And a bookstore was having closeouts, and I just couldn't pass this one up. It's one of my all-time favorite shows, and it's a really good book, the second edition of the Twilight Zone companion.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Scott Zickery. And if you'd like to know, the Twilight Zone is for free on the Pluto channel, so I don't have to get out my DVDs of the first 5 seasons. Now, how many of us on the list remember watching the Twilight Zone with their dad? I watched season 3 and 4 with my dad. I was about 4 when the show went there. I used to call it the Zone. Let's watch the Zone. Dad, let's watch the Zone. Yeah.
It's zone time, Jeffy.
It's zone time, Dad. So, yeah. So that's a good read so far, what I've been reading on it. That's why I have this week. Next week, who knows?
My dad didn't even help me watch Family Affair.
Oh,
I
God.
used to watch all kinds of stuff with my dad. Yeah.
Did you a favor?
No, folks, my dad worked nights.
Oh, did he? Okay.
So, like, when we came home from school, he was off to work.
He was sneezing. Oh, he was sleeping.
So, yeah, so he was home while we were at school. But when we came home from school, he left. So we had to watch I Dream of Jeannie alone.
Oh, no.
I know.
Mhm.
I got to watch baseball.
Oh, I forgot. There's a game going on. I should have the.
That's all my dad
Yeah,
has.
forgot.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else
Baseball
have
and
new
football.
stuff?
That was it. And boxing. That was
Ah,
it.
And my team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, is going to the finals. So, basketball team.
oh, they're not playing tonight. Okay, that's good. I'm not missing a thing.
Okay, who else has new stuff?
Anyone?
Anybody? Anybody?
Not this week.
I got something I
I
can
thought
share
about
with
buying something today, and then I decided I wouldn't buy it.
Okay, you're next.
Oh,
sir.
I'm on. Okay, so this is a new, but I can share it with you. I have to open it up. Oh, that's
You're not ready yet.
I am. I'm just getting the bag off
Okay.
because it's big.
It's hermetically sealed.
That's what she said.
Feel that way here. Oh, come on, get off there. One day. Okay, there we go. There. Oh, that was hard.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, look at your
Nice.
This is a
Look
box.
how thick it is. Woo.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's expanded. It's got the full. It's got 5 additional songs on it.
Okay.
It's got they toured with B.B. King and Ike and Tina Turner, so it's got an album of their performances. You can see that's the 3rd record here, and then it's got the CDs as well
Okay.
with a bonus DVD.
Cool.
So this is like an anniversary edition.
Mhm.
And inside you get a bunch of stuff. There's all the records. I won't take them out, but
Oh.
you
It's
see
a
that.
quad fold.
Yeah, it is kind of. And then this opens up into
Ooh.
something bigger. You get the CDs there, and
Mhm.
right,
And it opens up into a coffee table.
yeah, pretty much. And then you get it had a hype sticker
Ooh.
Okay. At the hype
For-
stick too.
for
Yes.
his anniversary. And then it had, I don't know, this is. Just a promo card, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, it's an ad for Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
I've got a little bristleboard poster to it.
Naughty.
Yeah, nice. That's suitable for framing.
Frameable, yes.
Yeah, and then it's got a soft covered book with photos of the concerts and thereabouts. This picture here of that one's kind of nice. That's a nice photo.
Pretty.
So this was 70s. So this, I guess, is kind of Mick Taylor's first official album. Oh, there's a neat photo. Jeez, hang on. I got to show you this one. Yeah. Now this will blow you away.
What?
Wow.
Well, I'm blown away.
Yes.
Sitting there with Jimmy. And
You think they were doing a drug deal?
there's the scumbag, Alan Klein. Ooh, hiss. Ooh, hiss. Oh, another great one. Look at that.
Oh,
Okay. Chuck Berry.
Chuck, yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so there's kind of neat stuff in here. Oh, there's BB. And I think that's Tina above him.
Okay.
Tina Turner. And that, I guess that would be Ike there. Is that Ike?
Oop, oop, oop. Ooh.
Is that Ike Turner?
James Farley
No,
has.
no, it's not. I'm not sure that is, but it's not Ike.
Not Ike.
Ike was never that rotund. Not that that guy is that rotund, but Ike was skinny as a rail his whole life.
Yeah, I thought so. Anyway, I don't see any pictures of Ike in here, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah. James Farley has some advice for you.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I got some, an essay on them and all this sort of stuff. So it was, I picked this up about 3-4 years ago when I drove across Canada. I got it in it was in a record store in, I think it was Sault Ste. Marie, actually. Ontario. Yeah, it was a really good record store too. So I picked that up. Yeah. So that's not new, but it's something I can show. So I showed it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to keep that away from the stereo behind you.
My Techniques from 1978.
Wow.
Still works great.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Stuff happens around here. Well, I don't know if you're interested. There's the label. It's just a kind of a standard Abco label on there. But yeah, nice package.
Indeed. Matthew Smith has got the mono CD set back in 2009. He's fine with those.
Yeah, the CD set, and they sound really like the vinyl and the CDs sound very similar. There's not a lot of difference between them. So, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I like the monsters on that show.
When my dad was home, all he watched were westerns.
Well, I watched westerns with my dad too. Bonanza and
We
Guns.
didn't want to watch. We wanted to watch Bewitched or something. And he wanted to watch.
Okay, there's one reason your father would want to watch Genie and Bewitched, but besides that, why would he want to watch it?
Bonanza was on. The Big Valley.
Yeah, of course, in my house we had 2 TVs, so
I know. They never get old.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Virginian. My dad had to watch The Virginian and Bonanza and Gunsmoke, of course.
Oh, my dad loved Bonanza.
Yeah. But then I watched the shows I watched, Lost in Space and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and Batman. And
oh, my dad hated Batman.
I think there's actually 3 versions of the Get Back. The third one never even got submitted. for, I think he submitted 2 of them, and the third one never even made it to submission, but I think he did it 3 times.
Yeah,
Aw.
you mean Glenn Johns? Yeah, there were 3 mixes, and you can get them all on
there's 3
bootleg.
mixes.
Yeah, you can get them all on bootleg. I've got 2 of them.
Nice.
The third one's probably the hardest, but
Look at the kitty's gonna kiss him back.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess all my cats are asleep.
look,
They like to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning saying they're hungry.
Oh, geez. Yours too, huh?
Yeah. Walk across my face.
you won't be sleeping at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
and when 45 cats want to wake you up, they pretty much succeed.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm just happy just happened.
That's just too many times.
Even Toby heard that through the headphones. He was like,
What's that? What's that? Look, he's chilling and everything.
Yeah.
that's because she's in heat again.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Be careful there.
There's a
Uh-oh.
kitty in Arkansas in heat. Shadow. Dio says there's a kitty in Arkansas in heat. So kitty right here. Yeah, Dio, there's a kitty from Arkansas in heat. Yes. Yeah, he's right there. She's right there.
What's that here? What's that?
Oh, the Glenn John CDs.
Oh, how many do you need?
These are 3 bootlegs I got. Here's now this was the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this is what they used for the Let It Be box set. I think it was that one. The track. Sorry, it's a little blurry there. I don't know if you can see the track listing. And then the second one, bit of a different track listing, and this one. I think it's just a compilation of the first 2.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But this is the first one I had. I bought this back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
It had Parlophone on it.
It had it's got the rooftop stuff on it.
Ooh.
So, but it's just a bootleg label.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Martin mix.
And then Robert P. did that for me.
Wow.
I sent him the files and he made CDs out of it. And
Robert P. does amazing things.
He does.
That's one I did. That's my black and white.
Well, actually, you've done pretty good with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're, but I mean they're pretty rough, and it's good that they redid it for the Let It Be box, because it's like, I'm not saying they weren't listenable, but I totally get why the Beatles did not want to release this, because it was pretty rough for their standards. So the one in the Let It Be box is definitely cleaned it up a lot and has made it more what you would expect from the Beatles. But these were, I mean, they're fun to listen to, but they're rough. They're not. They're more like demos than anything else.
But sometimes the rough stuff is kind of fun to listen to anyway, because
like
you hear alternate takes.
I totally understand why the Beatles didn't want those released, because they were just not. They were nowhere near up to where they would want their standards.
Are those hard to find now on CD?
Well, I don't know. I haven't looked because I got them, but I would imagine they're getting a little harder to find. Yeah, and there's so many different variations out there. It's hard to know what to get. See, there's another missed opportunity. Why don't they just release the one out of the Beatles box set?
Yeah, it'll sell.
Box set. They should release that as a single album.
Mm-hmm.
Well, about a year ago, when that box set was going for like dirt cheap money, I should have bought one. I have half of it, and I should have bought one just for the Get Back album. and I didn't even think
It's worth having the album. It really is, and
Yeah.
they should. I don't know
Yeah.
why they don't release it as a separate release, because people would buy it, and if the alternative is Let It Be Naked,
because that
you
was
know,
the draw. Well,
it's
yeah,
a-
now Let It Be Naked it's now my least favorite Beatle thing ever released. Now that I know this for sure about it, it's dropped to last on my list.
You don't want me to throw it again, do you?
You
No,
might
you
crack
have-
the jewel
Oh.
case. Careful.
I got plenty of jewel cases. That's not a problem.
Okay, throw it.
But are they clear? That one's a clear back on it. You don't want to wreck it.
Yeah.
And it's a double case, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a double case because it's got that
Okay, so
Double
two
goodies.
CDs.
Yeah, two CDs.
Two CDs.
Yeah.
It's a clear one. You don't want to
That
wreck
was
it.
the first edition, I believe.
And now, press your luck.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm waiting for the day one of them bounces back and hits him off the back of the head.
Yeah.
That's our show for tonight. Thank you.
And,
Going on to the hospital now.
Well, you know what they say.
Oh.
oh, okay.
What?
Well, I can see myself.
You're getting a bunch of glare there.
Oh, you have another one, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Head.
Doc, wrong band.
What's that doing here? What? That would be different.
What is that?
Head.
I know, but it looks like something on the in the.
That's a gorgeous cat, Paul. Look
Yeah.
at him.
Thank you.
Gorgeous kitty.
Just lying there.
Gorgeous kitty.
He's very chill.
Yes, look at the tail going. Nyet, 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 nyet.
He's pretty content, that guy.
Mhm. He can lay there all night.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cat.
Pretty cat.
I got an orange tabby. They're just so pretty.
Mhm.
There's stripes and there's spots. And
Why didn't they include "Don't Let Me Down and Let It Be"? Were they saving it for the single?
well, it's on
No,
the
it was
EP.
already on the single. That's why. It was already out. They could have put a different version on Let It Be, like they did Get Back. They could have and probably should have just pulled another version and put that on Let It Be. But they didn't.
Oh, you mean the original Let It Be? Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, they could have. There was at least 3 or 4 really good versions of Don't
Well,
Let Me Down.
that's a
They could have
pretty,
put another one
that's
on
a-
the album.
That's a pretty short album too. I mean, they could have put a couple of more
Yeah,
tracks.
they could have easily put it on. I would have done like they did Get Back, put a different version of Get Back, a different take of Don't Let Me
Yeah,
Down.
yeah.
There was enough to choose from.
I always felt the Let It Be album, the original, was like a rush job for some reason. They didn't think it through because the album itself could have been. I love the album. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's one of my favorite albums by the Beatles. But there's stuff they could have done that they didn't do. Like, we didn't really need Maggie May and Dig It. You know, we could have had some other more interesting stuff on there.
Well, some of it got tried, and Lennon shot it down. Like Paul tried to introduce Teddy Boy for that album.
You don't want that on there.
Tried to introduce Maxwell Silver Hammer for that album. Nope. You know, I mean, it's not like they were just not getting along. You know, George tried All Things Must Pass. Nope. You know, they did try.
Also, we got to do Maxwell's Take 3,941.
Well, the songs of the tracks they completed, though, like Don't Let Me Down should have been on that. And they could have put on Old Brown Shoes as well. Old Brown Shoes around. They could have put it on.
Yeah, no, that. Well, that was recorded later, wasn't it? Just after?
No, that was.
I think that was recorded a couple weeks
after
the Ballad of John and Yoko. I think that was recorded a couple of weeks
after.
But
I'm talking about the album, Tim. The album didn't come out until May of 1970.
Well, yeah, that's true. The album, but the single was already out by then. Again, because that was a policy. If it's on a single, it's not on the album. That was always their policy.
Well, I don't know if it was at that point, but they could
Well,
have
no,
done.
it was the first time it ever
Could have
got
done a
broken
lot
in
better
England
job.
was when Alan Klein released Something Come Together a month or two after Abbey Road came out. That was the very first time in the UK that policy had ever been broken. The
They
first
probably,
and only time.
there's probably 3 or 4 songs they could have put on Let It Be album that they did.
Mhm.
Oh, but then they put them on the Hey Jude album. So what are you going to do, right?
It would have been George Top Heavy.
No, George has had 3 songs on a couple of Beatle albums.
See, Jeff, why can't your cats be like this?
Well, they do, but right now they crawl off to take a nap. Yeah.
How old is Toby?
4. She just turned 4.
Wow, that's good. She's still a young cat. She's
Yeah.
cuddling with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could do this all day.
Look at him.
Yeah.
She's loving it. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
What a life, huh?
Yeah, that's what I say all the time about this one. What a life.
Oh, are there more?
Think of it, Paul. Like, you feed her, you clean out her box. Like, just imagine what life would be like if somebody did that for you.
Oh, would that be great?
It's called assisted living nursing home.
Well, in the 50s and 60s, it was called a wife, but it's not called that anymore.
Life with a cat, perfect. And coffee.
Mm-hmm.
What,
Not for the cat.
what brand of coffee do you use?
Currently Maxwell House.
Oh,
But you can only drink Maxwell House in your Cordoba.
true. Hang on, I'll show you what kind of coffee I've got.
This is supposed to glow in the dark, but it's not dark enough yet.
Mm.
It's this.
Oh, okay.
How does that sound?
Not
I
great.
have to ask. 'Cause,
Mm.
no, glow in the dark. I've never heard a glow in the dark album that sounds great. And I'm a proponent of colored vinyl because colored vinyl is always virgin vinyl. So there's nothing wrong with colored vinyl. They have to color it black. It would be clear otherwise. And people that say clear records don't sound good are nuts because that's just the way the vinyl is.
I mean,
No
don't get me
additives.
wrong.
How can it sound bad?
It's listenable and it sounds fine, but it just doesn't have the clarity that a regular pressing does.
Yeah. I have one or two
Yeah,
glow in
very
the dark
clarity.
albums, and I don't like them. I don't like silver that much either. Silver is the only other color I take issue with. The rest
I
of them
prefer gold myself.
usually
It's worth
fine.
Now for the platinum, that's a whole
And
other
I think
color.
there's some sort of additive like the glow in the dark powder and silver to kind of make it shiny, and I think that distorts the sound.
Anyway,
Do I hear a
Kind of a fun
cat
one.
asking to be held again?
No, she's over there. She's over there.
Yeah, I was like, hold me again, Daddy. Hold me again. Oh, well. There you go. Pampa. Instant coffee.
Never heard of it. You got me on that.
Pampa. Remember the name. Pampa.
so I started watching a series of videos. Oh, what's he drinking now? Oh, he's drinking something.
Drinking coffee.
I started watching a series of videos on this one,
Nice.
Kyle on Main Street by
Oh.
Steve over at Flipside CT.
Yeah.
CTV. Anyway, he did 8 videos on the whole, everything around the XL on Main Street. And like I said, it's like 15 hours or something. So it blows my mind what this guy does. Anyway, I watched the first episode last night. It was really good. It was talking about all the supporting cast, like the road managers and the people who are doing this, that, and the other thing, the housekeepers and all this sort of stuff. But it was still really fascinating, really good history. So if you want to learn about Exile on Main Street, take a week, and you can
Yeah.
you can watch Steve's videos because they are just amazing.
No,
just
no.
amazing. Flip side,
And he's
C.
a great guy too. He's a nice.
Yeah,
guy.
Steve's a wonderful person. Yeah, slip side.
I was invited to his house once.
CT for
He
Canada.
doesn't even know me.
So
There was a
check out
record
Flip Side.
show,
Oh, it keeps
a
talking.
huge record show he goes to every year, and he tried to get me to go. He's like, "You could stay at my house. You can drive up. You can stay at my house. We'll go in the morning." And I'm like, I can't. You know.
He lives in Connecticut, right?
Great
That's
guy.
what the CT stands
Great
for.
guy, yeah, great. He lives not that far from Keith. He's pointed out he did a video where he drove by Keith's house, and that's where Keith lives.
It's amazing what Steve does. He's doing like he's done a whole bunch of Stones albums. He does these mega documentaries, and it's better than anything you're ever going to find anywhere else.
No, he did one on CBGB's. It was great, and it got taken down immediately. And it was like, he put so much work into that. And the people that took it down actually wrote him a long email and apologized. And like, we had to, because you used a lot of images that we owned, and if we let you use them, then we have to let everybody else use them. And you know, he actually understood why it happened, but still, it broke his heart.
Well, here's my thing, though. If they felt so bad about it, why didn't they just sanction it and let him use them? You know, and just say he had our permission to use these. And they could still say to others that you don't have our permission.
I don't know. I mean, I had the same thing happen to me with Something Weird video once. And I got a nice email from, I forget her name, but the lady that runs Something Weird, and apologized that she had to do it. I'm like, okay, whatever. But then my very next video got taken down too, and that's the first time I ever stopped making videos. I was fed up at that point.
Well, you put a lot of time into it, and it's like you have it taken down like that for, you know, they're kind of arbitrary reasons, to be honest, because other people get away with it. You know, it's
my second one was a
turntable
unboxing. Well, you can't unbox a turntable twice, so okay.
Yeah. I don't know how some people like they play whole songs and stuff, and like nothing happens. It's like, how do they get away with it? And I can't play a 10-second clip of a Guess Who song. You know, so give me a break.
I had music on very, very low in the background on a little portable Crosley record player, very, very low. I'm talking over it the whole time, and I get my video taken down. And it wasn't, I usually played stuff like Enoch Light and stuff, you know. I wasn't playing hits or anything, you know.
I wonder if you played it at 45, like you took an LP and played it at 45.
I used to do that. That was one of my tricks when I had I used a different turntable in that red room when I made videos. I didn't play it at the wrong speed, but I would turn the pitch all the way down, actually, because I'd get more out of the record. It would last longer that way. So I turned the pitch all the way down on this instrumental music that I was playing. So hopefully
I hear everything.
Well, it seems pretty arbitrary, and James is right. It's the people who own the music, but I guarantee you, the people who own the music aren't listening to my channel. So
it's not who you think. Everybody blames Sony and Warner, and that's not who's usually doing it. There's all of these little people that have little chunks, and it's been licensed to them too by the big guys, and they're the ones doing it. It's not Sony. So if Sony doesn't want to sell DVDs and CDs and stuff anymore, they're certainly not caring about the nickels and dimes from YouTube. They're not. It's these other little people that, like, when Steve Schnee was doing
darn little people
ETV and was having copyright problems, that was is it? It's not. It's not CD Now. What was that other company that was? I can't remember the name of the company, but they don't even exist anymore. But they still had the rights to the music, and it was them.
How dare they?
You know, it's usually the little guys. It's everybody blames the big guys, but it's not the big guys. It's the little guys that have rights here and there that are doing it.
It's some guy living in his mom's basement.
I think they're all bedwetters who were bullied when they were kids.
Well,
Give me your lunch money.
they legitimately have leased the rights, but still, that's it's not.
Shame.
CD Baby, that's
Oh, they're awful. Oh. Sheesh. Those little people at CD Baby.
Well, this one.
They're tiny. They're tiny. They're microscopic. But they cause much
That's
problems.
the thing. That's who's doing this. That's who's doing this stuff. It's these people that lease rights, and then they send a million bots out on the web to try to make as much money as they can, as long as they got the rights.
And the lefts.
Yeah.
The middle. Who wants to see some clickbait?
Yes.
I see enough.
Tim does. I know Tim does. So you tell me, is this clickbait or not? Oh no, deformed to disabled actors. Hollywood is hiding the truth. True or false?
Well, I know at least two of them they were. I don't know about the other two. It wasn't up long enough.
What's wrong with Buster Keaton?
Buster, I don't know. I don't know what was wrong with Buster Keaton. He's not one of the two. But Harold Lloyd was missing a finger, and what's his name? Was in an awful car accident, and his face was disfigured, so they only showed him from one side of his face, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna take a look at
Gary Berghoff from Radar. He had a deformed hand.
Yep.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. So
things I never noticed.
They never show it. They never show his hand. So all you ever see is one hand. Every once in a while you'll see a little claw come up, but you only ever see his one hand.
Okay.
And yet he could play those drums.
Yeah, he could play drums, and he could play drums too. He wasn't faking that. He could actually play drums.
Yeah. He supposedly was in a band in Vegas at one point with Linda Carter before MASH.
Wow.
Yeah, go figure.
Huh.
What do Gary Berghoff and Linda Carter have in common? Not much.
There you go.
It wasn't height.
It wasn't height. No.
Well,
there's a couple other things it wasn't either.
I've yet to see Gary Berghoff with a Wonder Woman costume.
Does everybody know who Multi was? Multi was a drum player.
Multi? Who?
Multi was the drummer for the Barbarians.
Oh.
And Multi lost one of his hands in an accident and had a hook. And he was a drummer, and he learned to play drums with his hook. So he just had one stick and his hook, and he played drums.
Whatever it takes, I guess.
Why not?
That'll sell tickets.
Well, it's like the Def Leppard, Rick Allen, right? He lost his whole arm.
Yeah.
He kept drumming.
Yeah. Multi used his hook. He didn't hold a stick with his hook. He just used his hook.
Amazing stuff, man.
Whatever works, right?
Ooh. Yep, Multi. You never heard the song Multi? Oh, it's great. It's all about it. He tells his own story.
Buster Keaton has the murderer's thumb? What does that mean?
I don't know what that is.
Who are the most famous Pauls after McCartney and Simon? Well, the bottom row.
What a dumb question. Okay, I'm going to say Paul Rogers definitely won. And Paul Stanley, probably the other one.
Paul Newman.
No, we're thinking rock stars, though, aren't we?
Oh.
Didn't say. This is famous.
Paul McQueen.
Oh, I can go with Paul Stanley, who, well, I guess he was a musician. I don't know.
Purportedly.
Paul Rogers for sure.
I see.
There's probably others. Paul Kossoff, thinking of Free, with
There you
Paul
go.
Rogers, Paul Kossoff. But he's not as famous as Paul Rogers
Yeah, that's true.
because he was only 26 when he died, unfortunately.
Well, we'll think up more Pauls after this message.
Where's it coming from? Hey, it's coming from the Milton Bradley game store. Maybe it's coming from Kooky Chicks, that wonderful new game. Hey, Kenny the cop. Yes, Tubby? Come on in here, will you? You want me? Certainly. Look at this. Kooky Chicks, a wonderful game. You want to play? You bet. All right, now look. You get a magnetic wand. I get a magnetic wand. We put it underneath, and we try to help the Kooky Chick push her kooky eggs into the nest. And the first one to do that is the winner. You ready? Right. Set. Go! Oh, come on there. Get in there, baby. Oh, I'm the winner. How about that? Well, wouldn't you like to play Kooky Chicks? You can. It's a Milton Bradley game. It comes in a box like this, and it's at your game store now. Kooky Chicks, the kooky fun game from Milton Bradley. Who makes the best games in the world? Get Kooky Chicks.
I dated a few kooky chicks in my day.
What a stupid game. Oh, my God. Who makes the best games in the world? Not Milton Bradley.
Yeah, Parker Brothers.
I see they made a game on me. I saw a hollow head in the back there.
Whoa. The stupid things they actually sold.
That was like one of the lamest games I ever just.
Yeah, let's push this egg into a hole.
Yeah, I pushed the egg in the hole. I win. Oh,
I don't know if you realize, Doc, that's a live commercial from, I don't know what show.
I know.
Probably one of those, TV drama shows or something. But it would have looked better if it wasn't live.
Well, it just showed up as like the lamest game you could play.
I mean, put that up against Battling Tops. Now, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Sure. Oh, wait a minute. We have a sports update.
Even Kurt
Blue
Plunk.
Jays 11 is nothing.
Yipes.
Oh. Toronto's wiping their ass. Yeah.
Sounds like the A's are
Wonder if
playing
my Cubbies are playing today.
a bunch of A's.
No, I would rather play
Kooky Check.
Mystery Game. At least that would take longer than 30 seconds.
Kooky Chicks. That could be like a variation on the dating game.
Didn't they have a guy version of Mystery Date? Like you open the door and it could have been.
Geez, I watched a dating game episode the other day, and the only reason I did is because Burton Cummings was one of the bachelors.
Oh, get out, really?
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. He was just playing. He was just being total smartass.
Oh, so he didn't get.
Well, the show opened with a Guess Who playing it too. It was when No Time was their single, right? So just before American Woman, right? And so he's up there, and they ask him all these stupid questions. He's just giving them totally stupid answers.
No worse than having Pee Wee Herman.
She didn't pick him though. She picked some other one. But when he came out, you see the look on her face. It told her who it was. She could see the look on her face. It was like sort of said, "Oh, I screwed up."
Damn. Oh.
Well, they did one with the merry-go-round. The three bachelors were three of the four guys in the merry-go-round. And
really?
Emmett Rhodes wasn't the one that got picked. She didn't get to go on a date with one of the guys in the merry-go-round, but she didn't get Emmett. She didn't pick Emmett.
It's no worse than the night that Pee Wee Herman was on there, eh?
Oh God.
Or I think Andy Kaufman was on there too.
Yeah.
There was many. They used to do celebrities all the time and wannabe celebrities. Like Farrah Fawcett was on there before she was anybody. Trying to think who else was on. There's been a few people that became celebrities that were on there. Steve Martin was on there.
Okay. Probably on YouTube somewhere.
I forget who else.
Look,
Maybe
it's
Suzanne
Piccolina.
Summers. I can't remember.
Our cat.
Oh, Piccolina.
That's a lot of emojis.
Okay, I posted a link in the private chat for that Burton Cummings dating game thing if you want to see it.
Ooh, we'll have to watch that later. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. He's playing a total smart ass.
Oh, that Burton. He didn't really want to win anyway.
I shouldn't say he's just being himself. Like, he's just had his natural wit, and he's just, he's only there to promote. He's only there to promote the song, right? So because they play the song at the beginning, and then they go into the show. So that's the only reason he's there.
So if he had have got picked,
exactly what the merry-go-round did, and it's like almost the only live performance you can. Well, it's not live because they're miming, but it's the only time you can see the merry-go-round. Really, they didn't make a lot. They weren't on a lot of shows or anything, but they're on the dating game.
Yep.
Yeah. So if Burton Cummings would have got picked, like the prize would have been a trip to Winnipeg.
I don't know, but it's funny when you see the look on her face when she finds out who it is. It's just like, oh, it's so funny. It's like, oh, I picked the wrong one.
This is true. Vito Scotti was never on the dating.
No.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity.
It is.
One of my favorite things ever on the dating game. This was later. This was in like the late 70s or early 80s on the nighttime dating game. They're having a regular game, and all of a sudden in the middle of the show, this janitor comes out sweeping the floor. Like right in front of, I forget the host. I can't remember if it was the same host or if they got a different host. Blah, 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 blah. And he's like, excuse me, we're filming here. And the guy looks up, and of course it's Chuck Barris. I forget what he says, and he just keeps going. And it's pretty funny.
Oh, who was the host of that dating game? I can see him, but I can't get the name.
Yeah, I'm thinking it wasn't the same guy. I forget his name, but I'm thinking it wasn't him anymore. It could have been, because he lived for a long time, so it could have been the same guy. I can't remember his name either.
Oh, crap.
He had glasses.
So somebody will look it up.
Jim Lang?
Jim Lang, yes.
Jim Lang. Yeah. Yes. I can't remember if Jim Lang was still doing it at that point or not, but Chuck Barris was still producing it.
Yeah. Bob Eubanks was doing the Newlywed. Yeah, after you went on your date and after you got married, then you ended up on the Newlywed Game. So it's kind of like a progression of sort. So, and Vito Scotti was never on the Newlywed Game either. Okay. Just for that, I'm going to show another clickbaity thing. Look, 68 years past Zorro. What do they look like now? Gosh.
Dead?
Gosh,
mummified?
Come on.
In coffins? In ashes?
Well, when did Guy Williams die?
Well,
few years ago.
Probably 40 years ago to start. But I mean, 68 years since Zorro ceased production. Where are they now? Oh, gee, that's
some skeletons hanging in a closet somewhere.
Yeah, but look at almost 5,000 people suckered up to see what happened to these people. Like what? People.
1957, 68 years later, I think they're all dead.
I would think so. So am I going to click on that? No. I think I've figured it out already.
Well, I don't know. That's what you say.
Horses are dead. The set's probably burned down. Yeah.
Yes.
Zorro's smart has turned to rust.
Nobody's left from Zorro. I thought it was Bill Cullen.
Bill Cullen. Well, he did game shows. What was his game show?
Well, he was the original.
He was the original host of The Price is Right.
Didn't he do To Tell the Truth or one of those stupid shows?
He was a panel.
Maybe later.
Yeah.
Maybe even first. I don't know, but he started out doing The Price is Right. I think that's the first one he ever did back in the early 50s.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is that show still on? Is Jim or Drew Carey still doing it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Still going.
God, he must have been. He's been doing it for how long? 20 years now, anyway, right? I mean, it's got to be. It's been a long time. He's been doing it a long
Been a
time.
while, yes.
Well, maybe not 20, but I bet he's been doing it 15.
That's what I thought. We'll just show cemetery plots. And here's Guy Williams, and here's what they look like now. Yeah. Of course, they'd have to fly to Argentina
with their name on it.
Guy Williams' grave. But yeah, what a stupid video.
Bill Cullen.
I don't know. Bill Cullen had done a few game shows in between, like Blockbusters.
Bill Colonoscopy.
Yipes.
He became more famous for being on game shows than hosting them. But yeah.
Yeah, he's even been on Match Game. He's in the top row, right beside Brett Summers.
Boy, what a sweetie she was, huh?
Give me attention. Give me attention. Even if I'm not playing this round,
That's
give
right.
me attention.
God, she was hotter than Fanny Flagg.
Oh, Fanny Flagg. He was mine. If only I would have grown up in time. You know what's disappointing to learn about Fanny Flagg?
No.
She couldn't spell.
She what?
She couldn't spell.
What do you mean she couldn't spell?
You know, they had to write down the answers on Match Game.
Oh.
She'd put up her answer and going like, you can't even spell.
Then how the hell did she end up being a writer? Didn't she write a bunch of books?
Exactly. Because I've seen her book.
You don't need to spell. You know how many people proofread your book before?
Well, they'd have to read Fanny Flagg like crazy.
What?
Like, oh my gosh, what's that now?
It's a dog. This is called a dog.
Oh, woo, woo, woo.
Oh, time for attention. Yes, I know.
I guess.
Anyways, gang, I'm going to have to get going here. I got to take the kid to work. So thanks for having me on, though, guys. I love being on here when I can.
Bored you to death, did we?
You stop. I bet it's on here almost a whole hour. How the hell can I be bored to death? All right. I love you guys.
Oh, sorry. I guess I was mean.
Bye. Bye. So long.
Jeez.
Bye.
They're dropping like flies.
I've got another one of these because it's been pretty wild on YouTube.
You show.
I know. Well, stupid YouTube. They keep recommending me crap. Thanks to his scandals, Gilbert Gottfried was always getting kicked out. Blah, 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 blah. It led him to horrifically desperate measures. Well, what could have that been?
He was
dying.
He was a funny bugger, that guy. God, he used to.
I don't know.
Affleck.
Well, he lost that game.
Yeah, I know, because of his stage act.
But they're making it sound like the life and sad ending of.
I thought the guy was hilarious. I just loved
I
watching.
like the Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh, I thought he was funny.
So
Funny.
there's a video out there that has like the sad truth of what happened to Gilbert Gottfried.
Well, he did pass. He passed away. It wasn't that long ago, right? Like he did pass away.
Yeah.
For the last
5 years ago, maybe
5.
I'm thinking longer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is true because Randy Bachman said it in a interview I watched a week ago. I think it was on YouTube.
I was telling you about that. I was telling you about
This is true. This is true.
They were at a curling rink in Kitchener, Ontario. and they had just come back from American tour, and they got into a set, and Randy broke a string. So they said, "Well, let's take a break now, and I'll fix my string." So the other three guys took off, and they went and had a beer or whatever. Bert went outside for a cigarette, and so he put his string on, and he was the only one on stage, and he just started doing this riff to get his guitar in tune, and it just kind of hit him, and he just started playing it, and the other guys came back. Oh, well, not the other guys, like Cale and Peterson came back and started jamming with them. And Burton was outside and heard this, so he came back in, and he got on stage, and he said to Randy, what is this? What are we playing? Randy said, "I don't know. It's just happening. Just sing whatever comes into your head." And so he just started singing this American Woman stuff, because he was, they'd just been to the States. They were sick and tired of the States and touring the States, and they finally got home to Canada, and they were happy. And so he just got into all this American stuff, and then they ended the show, and they said, "Well, what was that?" And we said, "Well, I don't know." So they forgot it. Like, they forgot most of it. So fortunately, somebody in the audience had recorded it with just a little cassette recorder, and he gave them the cassette. They found the guy, and he gave them the cassette, and from there they developed the song from that. So yeah, it started out as just a jam on stage.
And that's half the time how things do happen.
Well, a lot of the times, yeah, a lot of the times.
Just look at Get Back.
And he wrote it on a Les Paul, that's a Les Paul there. So I'm kind of proud of that fact. He wrote it on Les Paul, and so it was really good. It was
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's history. It's probably, it was their biggest song, and probably one of the biggest songs to come out of Canada.
No, Trump isn't anti-Canadian. He wants Canada. Period.
Well, Richard Nixon, like they were invited to play the White House, and Richard Nixon knew it was an anti-American. It is an anti-American song. It's not about an American woman. It's about America. And he wouldn't let them play it. He said, "Come out, I want you to play at the White House. We can't play American Woman." So they couldn't play. They couldn't play it at the White House. But
yeah. Well, that should be our national anthem right now. Okay,
I've got a recording of the Guess Who doing "Oh Canada." It's pretty funny.
Ooh, did they kind of blow it or something?
No, they just put their own music to it and just started goofing around. And they started, at some point they broke into Old Lang Syne. So I don't know, but anyway, I was just listening to it. It's pretty funny. It's only about like a minute long. It's not very long.
Yep. I've got one more little bit of clickbait here. Let's see. Incredible moments caught on camera. When did this happen?
Well, I saw that today. I didn't watch it, but I saw that today. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, when did that happen? I don't recall that being on the news.
Well, planes have looked the same for 60 years. It might not have happened recently.
It looked like a bad parking.
No, I think that was a recent thing because it just.
Well, I don't know, but I'm just saying. I don't think that's fake. I think that's.
No, it came up in my newsfeed today. That thing. So I don't know.
Wait a minute. When where'd that go? When was this posted? 7 days ago.
Yeah.
From the best moments, of course.
Right.
You will see the best moments on that channel. What? I don't know. Where do these things? It's getting so I don't find anything to watch on YouTube anymore.
There's plenty of good channels out there.
I don't think you can run out of. I don't think you can run out of things to watch on YouTube. Sorry.
Well, no, not if I did all this kind of stuff.
I actually have apologized to Stephen Snee a couple days ago for being behind on his videos for like the first time ever, because he's released so many lately and they've all been long. I'm behind on him. Never behind on his videos.
He's discovered the outdoors.
He's gone outside.
Yeah.
I didn't go outside today. I
I
stayed
did. It
indoors.
didn't rain for the first time in quite a long time.
It was it's 67 degrees and mostly cloudy out. Huh.
It was really hot here yesterday. It was like 28 Celsius. It was really hot.
Oh, that's scalding. Ooh.
It was, yeah.
It's
But today
70s.
it cooled right off again. So I don't know what the heck's going on.
I can just imagine what it must have been in.
I don't know. What is it now?
I don't know. I don't have. Phone is about
I
another
have to
5
finish
feet
mowing my
out.
lawn, so I hope it doesn't rain again tomorrow. Because I gotta let my lawn dry 48 hours where I can't even mow it. It's super
Right now it's 34 degrees Fahrenheit in Tuktoyaktuk.
34.
Wow. Summer is upon them.
That's bloody cold.
Good thing you're on the beach.
We're out in shorts swimming in the ocean. Are you kidding me? It's 34 degrees.
I might be out in shorts, but I doubt they're in the ocean.
I know. This happened
Eating
in Tuktoyaktuk.
giraffes.
I hope that's not Jerome. If that's
No,
Jerome,
that happened offshore on Tuktoyaktuk.
I don't believe a word.
Sharks and giraffes, you know. Wow. Anybody I can make those damn things. Shark eating a giraffe.
Oh, the latest thing that's been out this week is the sound recording of the Ocean Gate mini sub imploding.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've been hearing that. It's just like, and the guy's wife is sitting on the mothership listening to the sound, and all of a sudden there's just a really, and she turned to the guy and said, "Well, what was that sound?" "Well, that was your husband dying." Well, I didn't say that, but that was the moment when it imploded. It was just like that. That's all you heard.
Wow.
And that was it.
Mm.
Yeah, scary. Anyway, apparently that was audio that the government has released. They had it.
That's going to be on YouTube any minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is. It is on YouTube. They did a 2-hour special on it. And
2 hours. Holy crap.
well, somebody did. They did. That was part of it. People are talking about it, but it's really eerie, you know, because the wife heard it. Like, she heard the moment when her husband died.
Oh, that's kind of like getting the audio from the Challenger disaster.
Yeah, yeah.
Go with full throttle. Oh, wait a minute. Boom.
Well, that's another one where apparently they have audio of them, you know, panicking after it blew up. They've got audio of the astronauts as they fell to Earth, apparently, but that's never been released, and we don't need to hear that.
I imagine it went something like,
They did say that the pilot, he tried to fly that thing all the way down. He was still trying to fly it. He didn't realize that it had basically disintegrated. Because he wouldn't know, right? Because they were in the pilot's module, so he wouldn't know what, you know. He was just doing what he was trained to do. He tried to fly that thing all the way down, and it's like it was hopeless. That's what they say, anyway.
Huh.
That was horrible. That
was the disasters on video.
That was horrible. That whole thing, God, just horrible.
Yeah, I watched that sucker.
Oh yeah, like I was in university.
Live television.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and the other one.
Columbia.
Yeah, the one that burned up on reentry.
Yeah, that was quite a few years later, but yeah.
And here they come, and here they wait. Oh.
Yeah. Unreal.
Live television.
Yeah, you know, that space shuttle, it killed more people than anything else they ever did.
It killed more than a Chevrolet Corvair.
Or a Ford Pinto.
Or a Ford Pinto. Yes.
I don't know. I think the Ford Pinto probably killed. Most of the people the Ford Pinto killed probably weren't in the Pinto. They were probably in the car that hit it, but still.
You mean explosions go that way?
Yeah, exactly.
Like a rocket exhaust. Come on.
A couple of my high school buddies had one, like they had one east, and they were both brown. They like we used to call them the pizza fleet. But they both, after high school, they both bought these little brown Ford Pintos. It's like, what is wrong with you?
You're twinsies.
So let's go to the store. I'm not getting in that thing. I'm walking. You drive. I'll meet you there. I'm walking.
Yeah, but aside from that, but that's like the one Ferrari that kept catching on fire a few years ago too. Aside from that, Pintos were actually nice little cars for what they were. They were better than the Vega. They were better than
the Fiero, not the Ferrari.
No, Ferraris. It was a Ferrari a few years ago that were catching on fire right and left. Imagine paying $200,000 for a car and you're out driving.
Yeah,
and
that was the problem with the Pontiac Fiero.
There was a bunch of those. I'm trying to think what other it was. Well, it was better than the Gremlin. It was better than the Pacer for sure. It was better than the Vega. Pacers. My dad had a Pacer.
Oh, another high school buddy had one of those.
Well, not a Pacer. Not a Pacer. My dad had a Gremlin. My dad wouldn't buy a Pacer. Pacers were possibly the worst car ever made.
Well, his dad had a Matador, and of course, Andy, he was an AMC guy because his dad was. So he bought a Gremlin. His first car was a Gremlin, and then he bought a Pacer. He had a Pacer for a while. Eventually, he smartened up and bought a Camaro. But it's funny. The stuff we used to drive. I had an AMC Eagle, which was the 4-wheel drive. It's kind of like a mini wagon. I had one of those for a while.
The problem with the Gremlin, my dad had a Gremlin. The problem with the Gremlin was a Gremlin. AMC owned Jeep at the time, and a Gremlin was just a Jeep with a car body on it. And it rode like it. And acted. A Gremlin had a steel dashboard. How many cars in the 70s had a steel dashboard? It was a freaking Jeep.
A Jeep,
steel door. The inside door panels were steel. I mean, it just rattled. You couldn't get it warm in the winter because everything was steel. You could turn that heat up all the way and it still wouldn't heat because there was nothing in there to heat up. It was just freaking
I had a
1980 and it rattled. And
I had a 1980 Jeep CJ5, and it was a short wheelbase, and like if you hit 55 miles an hour, hanging on for dear life, it was like it was like driving a beach ball.
That's what Gremlins were like. Gremlins were just Jeeps with a car body. They weren't good.
My Jeep was a hoot though. It was 4-wheel drive.
They were rugged. They were going to last you forever, but they weren't comfortable.
I used to go in snowstorms, put my Jeep in 4-wheel drive and go whipping around. I only had a soft top on it. I had a convertible top. It didn't have any doors at all. It was just these panels. These
until the 70s, I don't think they ever even made a hardtop Jeep till the 70s. I think they were all convertibles till sometime in the 70s.
Well, they made a top you could attach to it. They did have a hard top all through that era, but mine wasn't. It was a soft top and the canvas doors and the whole thing. And they
all had even the hard tops had canvas doors in the 70s. The hard tops all had
that thing used to, like, man, it was good on gas. So holy cow, I could go forever on a tank of gas. It was real good on gas. The thing was cool. It was an AMC, right? But it had a Chev motor. It had a Chev 152 cubic inch 4-cylinder engine, and it had a Ford transmission. Had it embossed right on the side. Ford. It had the Ford logo right on the transmission. What a hoot.
Welcome, friends, to Car Talk.
Car Talk.
Yes.
Today we're talking American Motors.
Yes.
What's your favorite American Motors car? Begin now.
Well, remember the man with a golden gun? All the cars were AMC. You remember that? They were all AMC cars.
I wanted a
Matador. The worst one was the Pacer.
Headlights in the front.
This is common knowledge. You guys probably know this, but the driver's door on the Pacer was 10 inches longer than the passenger door. The doors didn't even match. They weren't even close. It was so heavy. The Pacer was so heavy that's why the springs. You always saw Pacers with the wheels basically riding on the wheel well because the springs would always give out. It's because they were so heavy.
Yeah, but they were great
horrible.
They were unique looking. I'll give them that. Nothing else looked like.
Yeah, they were unique looking. Try to drive down a narrow alley in one. They were about a foot wider than most cars.
They were wide. Yeah, they were very wide.
Yeah.
That's a Lincoln. Lincolns aren't crazy.
Well, Mercury Zephyr, yeah. I think a couple of companies used a Zephyr though. That showed up a couple of different times. Yeah.
But I don't recall them being nutty cars.
My dad was always a Chev guy. He always had Chevs. Can't tell you how many Impalas he owned, but my God. Yeah.
Whenever they change the body style, gotta get a new one.
Yeah. Well, see, with my dad, he sold automotive parts, and he knew what cars lasted because he could tell how good a car was, because normally about 4 years after a car is new, Dad would start to get calls for parts. Okay, they figure after about 4 years, they start replacing parts on these things, right? And he could always tell that the better cars, you'd be like in the 6 or 7 years before you'd start getting cars. So he would often choose his car based on his parts sales. And one of the best cars he said ever built was the Ford Taurus. Because of that, he owned a Taurus. He never owned Fords, but he owned a Taurus, and he said that's because it took me forever to start selling parts for these cars. They're really well built, and so that's what he went on. He would never own a Chrysler. He said, I'd never, because he sold more Chrysler parts than anything else.
Name two SHO, Taurus SHO. Well, two Taurus.
The SHO model package. What was the other one? SHO. Didn't Chev have one too?
Well, I imagine it would be under Ford.
I can't remember. I think
Maybe it was the Ford Galaxy.
See, when you're going for a used car, especially 5 years or older, it's good to go for some of those. Like, I always wanted to buy a used Jaguar because Jaguars have horrid build quality, especially like the wiring and stuff like that. But if you buy a 6 or 7 year old Jaguar, all that stuff has been replaced by now, so you're good to go. that was the thing, you're good to go now. Everything that went wrong with it's gone wrong with it, and so now you've got a good car.
So get a 6-year-old Jaguar and you're all set.
Well, that was always the car I wanted. Before I got the car I got now, I wanted to get a used car, and I wanted it to be a 1996 Jag XS type. 96 for a specific reason. That's the last year before they hooked up those computer modules for inspection and everything. So you didn't have to go through all that stupid stuff. 96 is the last year.
My Corvette is 46 years old this month. It was built in May of 79.
Wow.
My Corvette's 46 years old now. It's unbelievable. It still runs great, and I can work on it. Like, it's none of this computer crap that you can't fix.
Yeah. You can change the oil.
I got to do a brake job on it, but it's great.
I was hanging out with my friend Billy back in Buffalo a long time ago, sometime in the late 80s. And we were sitting having a few beers at his living room. And his girlfriend comes over, and their family had a Jag S-Type. And Billy knew I loved Jags, and I had a few beers in me. And he's like, Tim wants to drive your Jag. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, no, I've had a few. And like, no, we'll just drive around the neighborhood and stuff. I've never driven a nicer car in my life. It was like driving on air, the suspension on that thing. And I'm driving through this neighborhood and I'm like, ooh, it doesn't turn so well. And we're going for a while and they're in the backseat laughing. And I'm like, well, I don't know why they're laughing. And finally I looked down at the speedometer and I'm doing like 55 through this neighborhood. It didn't feel it. It felt like I was doing 20. You know, because it just rode so nice. I'm like, ooh, I gotta have one of those. It was just nice.
James Farley says, what is the Grand National ASHO car?
Well, Grand National, isn't that a Pontiac?
It's a Buick.
Yeah, okay, Buick, yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't know. It's like it's a special package you get with them.
It was very fast.
Yeah, they were popular in the 80s, I think, weren't they? Not when they started doing all that stuff.
It might have gone faster than an Oldsmobile Cutlass.
Well, I don't think they even had a Cutlass back then. It's
I'm not sure.
But I mean, Chev had something like that. It was a Monte Carlo. It was all hopped up as well, all souped up, and no place to go. Yeah.
It makes me want to go and start watching some Motor Trend.
Yeah.
Except the only cars they can show on there are.
Saw Tim was on Jay Leno today. I was watching Jay Leno was showing his rare Firebird, and Tim Allen was on.
How rare is it?
Oh, apparently, like it has 6-cylinder engine with 4-barrel carburetor on it, all this stuff. And it's like, which is apparently really odd, really rare, you know. So anyway, yeah. So Tim Allen was there making fun of Jay, and boy, he's looking old now.
How dare you, Tim?
The other Tim Allen.
Oh,
he's looking very old.
Me.
Yeah, he's the one that played Man. You know, the Man.
Oh yes, yeah. Two different people.
James May's recently been in California from Top Gear, and he just filmed something with Leno, so he's gonna have something out soon on Leno's channel. And I learned something. You go to Jay Leno's garage, there's one rule you have to follow. You know what it is?
Clean hands.
Nope. You have to wear jeans. You cannot wear anything that's not jeans in Jay Leno's garage. You are not allowed.
He's always wearing jeans, so yeah.
So James May filmed an episode of him going to Target to buy a pair of jeans because he didn't bring any with him on his trip. So he went to Target to buy some jeans.
Who doesn't take jeans with them on a trip? I mean, geez.
Well, these days, a lot of people don't wear jeans. He's wearing casual pants, but they're not jeans, you know.
Not the same.
When I did that road trip across Canada, I forgot to pack jeans. I was just wearing shorts. So in Calgary, I was actually it was Airdrie, which is north of Calgary. I was staying in a motel, and there was a Mark's warehouse like 200 yards away. So
I'm going shopping there.
I don't know if I'm going to need these, but I better buy a pair of jeans in case I do.
Name 2 shows with no cast members left. Well, I'll tell you one right now. Zorro. Almost 70 years later, there are no cast members left to Zorro.
That was 50s, though. From the 60s? Well, probably Bewitched.
Tabitha.
What else? Well, Gilligan. I don't think. No, Don Wells is still alive.
No, Don
Wells died.
Oh, okay. Well, then
Don Wells.
Tina
Gilligan, they're all gone now.
Tina's still
all gone now.
The Green Hornet.
Tina's still around, isn't she? Tina Louise.
Oh, Tina, yeah, that's right. Tina is still around. Tina's the last.
Batman would be another one. They're all Burt
Ward.
No, there's 3 of them left. There's 3 of them left. I'm from Batman.
Is Barbara Eden still around?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Bonanza. None of those guys are around anymore.
Yeah, they got to be dead. Yeah. Bonanza's dead.
So there you go. Bewitched and Bonanza. They were in the 60s.
That's the Bewitched and Bonanza.
Yeah, but
There you
again,
go.
Tabitha's still alive. So
Who?
Tabitha,
Oh,
Yeah,
girl
what
that
happened? Yeah.
the girl that
Yeah.
played the
Well,
daughter
Hogan's
is
Heroes,
still
yeah,
alive.
they're completely all gone.
Hogan's Heroes. Yeah, I guess they're all gone too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, time for a remake.
Yeah, starting it over. Yeah. It was such a big show in its time. It's time to bring it back.
Is from Hawaii Five-0, is James MacArthur still around? Dano? Is he still
I
around?
don't think so.
See, they could be all gone too from Hawaii
They're
Five-0.
all good, too.
The mothers-in-law. I think the mothers-in-law, they're all dead.
Kay Ballard, and who's the other one?
Eve Arden and Kay
Eve
Ballard,
Arden.
and there were two guys, and I think they're all gone.
Yeah. James MacArthur's dead.
Yeah, okay, so Hawaii Five-0
Oh.
will be another one.
Oh.
Because I think he was the last one. All the other guys, like Kono, whoever he was, is gone, and Chin Ho Kelly is gone, and
There's
Steve
a lot of gone. Television has lasted basically 70 years, so like everybody.
Oh, yeah.
It
yeah.
is. Oh, there might be. The son might still be alive. I was about to ask if anybody's still alive from the Jeffersons. There might be one. The son might still be alive.
Lionel. Yeah, Lionel's probably.
two
Yeah,
Lionel.
Lionel might still be alive. Same thing with Maud,
I think
Adrian.
Jeff, you're
Barbeau.
muted. I can't hear you. Jeff is muted, I think.
No, he's just sleeping.
Well, he's talking.
We can't
but-
hear you, Jeff. You're not showed up muted, but we can't hear you.
Oh.
Well, you know, the Andy Griffith show, Ron Howard died, just nobody told him yet.
Yeah, no, he's still.
He's the Walking Dead. Oh, he
I'm
put.
surrounded
he put
by dogs. There's one.
Speak, Jeff. Speak.
What are you two doing? What do you want?
Hello.
There you go.
Oh,
Okay.
Very
Yeah.
quiet. We can
Yeah.
hear
Head
you.
it down. It's okay.
We got
I gotta go.
to push his volume.
I'm out. I think they need out. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, he is boosted. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's like you're too low.
Oh, it's too low.
Oh, you're getting better. Maybe it has to.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
I
Hi.
hear that every week for some reason. By the way, I have a new episode up. Anybody that's interested in my
Okay.
podcast.
It
It,
says
it
right
went
there.
up Tuesday.
Pop.
Yes.
Um,
After much struggle, it went up Tuesday.
Say what?
Huh?
What?
Okay.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. One of my cats.
Huh.
At 4 a.m.
It's a sweetie. Until 4 a.m.
Yeah, the Mary Tyler Moore show. Everybody's gone.
Oh, wow.
I was thinking about Ironside, but Barbara Anderson's still alive.
That's
Yeah.
guys forget,
Way-
man. Everybody's gone.
I don't even think Don Ho is alive anymore.
No, he
Yeah,
can't
Mary
be. He was
Tyler.
around 40 in the Brady Bunch. He can't. He'd be like 100.
Oops.
So let's check.
Yeah. Google it up.
Those Hawaiians, you never know.
Yes, Dick Van Dyke is still kicking. Literally. Yes. Him and June Lockhart and William Shatner.
2007. Don
Tina
Ho.
Williams.
And Mel Brooks is going to make another movie. I hear.
He better hurry.
I was going to say, yeah. Gonna.
Like 95 or something.
You know, Dick Van Dyke's going to be 100 this year.
Yes. Any minute now.
See, I don't know who would finance a movie with Mel Brooks?
That's
why I was Dick Van Dyke kept saying, in interviews in the last year that he'd like to get, a small role, regular role on a TV show. He could play a great grandfather or something, but nobody's gonna bond you. You're almost 100 years old. Nobody's gonna bond you. It's not gonna happen. Same thing with a 95.
Flips over that ottoman, he's gonna be dead.
It's not gonna.
That's not gonna end well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, both Lionels are dead.
I think the daughter is alive. His wife, or yeah.
Wheezy's not alive.
No, the daughter of the that Lionel's wife. I'm not remember what her name is.
I don't know. 100 is the new 97.
Yeah, ways to go.
I remember when my mother turned 99, she was telling everybody that, and how old are you? I'm 99. Wow, you don't look a day over 98.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody buy her 99 red balloons on her birthday?
No, they had Luft balloons instead.
99 candles on the cake.
Go by.
Yeah.
Start a fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Robert Wagner did It Takes a Thief and Switch and Heart and Heart.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
Probably lots of guest stars too.
Yeah. This Jill St. John must be dead too.
No, Jill St. John is 85 and they're married.
I thought she died falling into the Batcave power supply.
Well, that was a long time ago, but she came out of it alive.
Nobody ever dies falling into the
as they said in Monty Python, I got better.
Yeah, they got better.
I always said Joe was a better Robin than Bert was.
Yeah.
Oh, Doc, I looked it up, by the way. We were talking last week about now I can't remember her, Donna Loren on Batman.
Oh, yeah.
She was the head cheerleader. She was. I looked it up. She was the head cheerleader on the Joker episode where he puts money in all the vending machines.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember
I remembered it right.
I remember the character name was Susie.
Yep.
Susie. And then that's
and yeah, I remembered it right. And that was the episode she was in.
Amazing.
Yes.
What do you mean weird puppets? Come on now. They're not weird.
Yeah, they're weird.
No, they're not weird. No. Stop it. No.
Yep, that's right. The guy who played Eb Dawson just died a year or two ago. And he was the last surviving member of Green Acres.
Oh, the young guy.
Mm-hmm. Arnold's still alive.
Yeah, Arnold's probably.
No, I'm eating Arnold right now.
Kellogg's Sugar Smacks are go. Plenty of Thunderbird's energy fast when you need it. The Thunderbirds team all have Sugar Smacks for breakfast.
You'll love these honey sweet puffs of wheat.
Don't be left behind. Kellogg's Sugar Smacks are go.
That cereal is still in the bowls.
Likely because they can't eat it. They can only look at the spoon. but it's also funny, that they're sitting there looking at the spoon. The one turns their head like.
Yeah, looks at the guy.
Like, what is that supposed to mean? Well, don't get left behind. Mr. Ed is dead. Yes. Mr. Ed is dead.
And his keepers are both dead too.
Oh, I'm missing something here.
Food. At least your dogs aren't around.
No, you have to look at your spoon like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, you're supposed to open your mouth a little bit. Yeah.
Well, here's an obvious one, but the honeymooners are all dead.
Mm-hmm.
You love these puff to eat thingies. Hello.
Hey.
Here's women. Now that's got all kinds of connotations behind it.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say Gomer Pyle, but there's still a surviving cast member.
Oh, who's still around from that?
Ronnie Shell, the guy who was one of the privates. He left and came back. He's in his 90s, but he's living.
Well, Frank Sutton died pretty
If a
young.
man asks his wife for sugar smacks, what does he get in return? It could be scary. That could be grounds for divorce. Ooh.
I mean, they can't do a lot though. They're made of wood, though, aren't they?
You know.
Yeah, they're not fire.
I don't think they're all wood.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a documentary on them, you know, how they build them and sort of stuff. Because actually they're not that heavy because, you know, like they do their stuff like 20 feet in the air.
Oh yeah, no, there's a huge upstairs sound thingy where
those are some long strings on those buggers. They are. They're like 15 feet up there. So like,
They must use fishing line or something so you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
We did, but trust me, on Blu-ray you can see it.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me. I look for them anyway. Where are those damn strings? I know
you can see it sometimes. You can even see it on a CRT TV sometimes. You can see the occasional string.
Oh yeah, I looked for
once in a while.
No biggie.
Because they didn't paint them. They didn't paint them black or anything. So you get light glaring off them once in a while.
Yeah, sometimes you get a shadow in the background too. You can see a string shadow on a wall or something.
Could be. I don't know. Let's play Search.
Merry Christmas.
Everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Everyone.
And Merry Christmas.
To each and every one of you.
And a Merry Christmas to you too, sir.
I didn't see a single string.
Well, I thought I saw one. The guy with the wine glass. I thought I saw a string.
At Merry Christmas, there's one string
on his lapel of his jacket.
That's the only one that I saw.
Well, so I think some of those, because that's later. I think some of those didn't have strings. Like the ice skaters, I think are really small and they're just on a track.
I think they're really skating.
Some of them weren't puppets.
Yeah, that could be like those Davy and Goliath marionettes, because
Davy and Goliath weren't marionettes.
Chains or whatever they were.
They were stop action puppets.
Yeah, because you shot it and you moved it and shot it and you.
Yeah, that's not a marionette.
It take a month, 10 minutes.
Gumby was stop action.
Yeah.
Thunderbirds was never stop action, but they would use motors and things. They would do cheats, you know, and do little miniatures and motors and like when you see a car go down the road or something, it's just a car about this big, sometimes up to 3 feet, but a lot of times small, and just somebody with a string tied to the front, and just somebody pulling the car. That's all it was. It wasn't any
like the close-ups of the hands. It was actually a real hand.
Yeah. Well, by the time they got to Secret Service, there was a real guy in it.
Yeah.
Real guy was in the Secret Service, but sometimes he was a puppet, but sometimes he was an actual, for far away scenes and stuff, they'd show the whole guy.
Oh, yeah, well, that Stanley Unwin guy.
Stanley Unwin, who played him and did the voice and everything, was actually in it quite a bit. But he was a puppet a lot.
That's how they got Stanley Unwin into a briefcase.
Yeah. No, they didn't get. It was his buddy that they got into a briefcase. He never shrunk himself. He shrunk his buddy. He wasn't going to do it. He was above that. He shrunk his buddy.
I thought he shrunk himself and got into
No, his buddy. He shrunk it. I have the whole thing somewhere. I have the whole Secret Service.
I haven't seen it in a while, but
There's only one. There's only one series. That's it. That's all
He shrunk himself. He's like George Costanza. I was in the pool.
And I think it's the last one. I think it's the last puppet one they did. Then they went into live action completely after that. That was like the test to see if they could do live action, and they could. So then that was the last
live action is hard.
That was 70 or 71 they did the Secret Service.
Yes. Don't forget, this show has been brought to you by Pampa Instant Coffee.
Instant coffee.
Pampa. Remember the name. Go into your store and search for
Try a cup today.
Instant coffee.
Yes.
Or don't. It's your choice.
I have
Better than Maxwell House.
No.
Better than Taster's Choice. Pampa. Look for it on your grocery shelf today. Well, maybe tomorrow because the store's
have some with some yop. That would be good. Coffee flavored yop.
Ah, yummy. Oh, good heavens. Daz Butler did 500 cartoon voices.
Well, he did Scooby Dooby Doo, didn't he?
No.
He didn't?
No.
Okay.
Daz Butler did anything from Huckleberry Hound to Yogi Bear to Snagglepuss to Peter Potamus to a lot of voices. But
who did the voice of Johnny Quest?
Tim Matheson.
Haji.
That one. Yeah. His name was Johnny Bravo.
What?
His name was Johnny Bravo.
Whose name is it? Johnny?
Johnny Bravo played Haji. His name was Johnny Bravo.
There you go.
I think he's on drugs.
The guy named Mike Rode played the voice of Ray Spannon. And there was 3 or 4 different guys that played Dr. Quest.
Who played Bandit?
Daz Butler, I think, was Bandit, wasn't he?
No, they had a real dog noise.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
They were
I'm sorry, but Johnny Bravo was really Greg Brady. I'm sorry.
That's true. That's true. Don't get the two confused.
Who played Tracy Partridge?
Yeah.
Okay, now is the time when we run out of stuff. Yeah, there she is. There she is. Out! Get that other face out of here.
It's Danny. Excuse me. It was Danny Bravo, not Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo got a record contract because the suit fit.
Yeah.
Wasn't Johnny Bravo a G.I. Joe character?
Yes, Elroy was another.
What was G.I. Joe's real name?
Joe Mayo.
No one ever told me.
We never did find out, did we?
Joe.
What was his real name?
It was Joe.
It was Mayo.
Joe.
Okay.
Well, if he was a real true American, like they said he was, his name would have been
real
Joe.
American hero.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Joe Smith.
Let's put this episode of
Joe
Soup back in the can, shall we?
Jones.
Yeah.
Joe Brown.
Yeah. That was Daz Butler too. So anyway,
who did Captain Crunch?
Daz Butler.
Bye.
So on that note, we say good night to all. Come back on Sunday.
Yes,
and all that kind of stuff. And I'm hitting all the wrong buttons, looking for the thing
We'll
to
try
do.
writing a script for the next one, folks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna okay. List.
Okay. I think I found the button now. We can go.
We have
No autographs.
We can go home now. Okay.